Hello guys, I am John BenderWaffles Aljets, and today we are going to be playing World of Warcraft Ascension. Ascension is a private server. It is currently in closed beta, and yeah, we're going to be messing around with this. This private server is different from most private servers in that, well, you'll see as we get into character creation. Let's go! Okay, so here we are. We are in the character creation, and if you notice, there's no class. That's because this is a classless realm. You'll be able to see a little bit of the mechanics of how that works here in a second. Let's go ahead and create our character. I am going to start. You know what? Let's start a human. Why not? Let's just randomize. Get a look. Perfect. Now, if you notice, it is using the old models, so it's on Wrath of the Lich King is what the current patch is for this. Let's think of a name. Let's just randomize something. Alex. Clip. Terry. Simorin. That one. Cool. Okay, so we are a level 1 hero because we don't have a class. So now we have all these bars that we have to move around. This is like our health and energy, I think, or rage and energy. That's hunger bar. You do have to eat to stay alive. And then we have our abilities and such. So basically the way that this system works is every 2 or so levels, you'll get enough points to be able to learn a skill. When you start off, you're going to have enough to buy, I believe you have enough to buy a basic spell. Let's see. Nope, you don't yet. So spells cost this 2 AE. You get an ability essence, I think is what it's called, every level. So basically every 2 levels you get a skill, and then you have this other, which is talent essence, because in addition to being able to pick spells from any class, you also can choose talents from any class and spec. So let's just go ahead and get started with our first quest. Okay, so now I get to go kill kobolds. It's important to note that this server is in beta, so things might not work 100%, but there's plenty of people running around, including that person who's naked. Let's just kill some stuff. If you notice, as when we start off with a basic striking move, quick shot. If we have a ranged weapon equipped, it just allows us to fire, and then just a elementalist like magic spell. So basically we have an ability of pretty much every type that you can have. And you do start with all these different weapons if you want to use something different. All right, let's kill some kobolds. When you have this spell, there doesn't seem to be a ton of a point in being a melee character this early on, when this spell just rocks face. Okay, so I have leveled up. I am level 2 now. I'm just gonna kind of continue killing things here, and as you see, I got an ability essence, and it says you can now pick your first ability in the character advancement page. So let's go ahead. Inventory is full, of course it is, because I start with all this crap. So let's go ahead and figure out what abilities that I want. Oops, that's the reset menu. Okay. So a lot of people, one of the first things they'll do is they'll get themselves an imp to help with just some of the, basic killing. That's not a terrible way to go. I might actually do that. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll get myself an imp. Let's summon our imp. Okay, now we have our imp, Zigtal. It's a very impish name. Okay, seems a little odd being a dude carrying a 2-handed sword with an imp. Okay, so now we have finished the first quest, and I'm going to go turn it in. So let's get to that. So, it's just your basic starting area stuff, except, you can make your class whatever you want it. I'm going to empty my bags. I don't need, like, all of this junk. Because I'm going to use a two-hander because that's the right answer. Everybody should use a two-hander. I'm going to be like I'm thinking of making myself like a badass battle mage kind of thing. Like I'll wear plate mail and I'll carry a giant sword, but I'll sling spells. Although the problem is that there isn't any, there aren't really any intellect two-handers. Well, I mean, I guess there's like staves and there's some pole arms, I think. But, yeah, I might have to go with like a staff for that. But I'm still going to wear plate mail because awesome. I'm sure this is just absolutely thrilling stuff. I'm sure that you guys are so entertained by this. At least this one's going to be edited. Come on, Zigtal. Let's do this. Throw a fireball. Yeah. I absolutely forget how boring like the intro starting areas are until I have to do them again. But I should enjoy my time in the Northshire Valley as much as possible. Because another thing about this server that's kind of cool, well, I mean, kind of cool depending on how you look at it, is it's a free-for-all server. So basically anybody can kill anybody at any time, regardless of their faction. So Alliance can kill Alliance, Horde can kill Horde. Obviously, Alliance and Horde can kill each other. And just as long as you're not in a city or an inn, you can kill each other. And either the best part or the worst part, depending on how you look at it, is that when you die, you drop a random bit of items or gear that you're carrying. Like you lose them and other people can loot it, which is probably going to turn off some people from this server, but it, you know, it's an interesting mechanic that you don't really see on other servers. I guess this is technically like a hardcore server then. It's going to make leveling a real pain in the ass, but I think that once you get to like late game, it probably won't matter as much because you'll be hanging out in Ironforge anyways. At least that's where people always used to hang out on my server back when I played retail. I don't know if that's where people hang out. If anybody who's watching this has a high level character on Ascension, where do like all the end game people hang out? Do they hang out in Ironforge? Do they hang out in Stormwind? Do they hang out in, I don't know, Booty Bay? I don't know, just let me know if you know. You know, even though it's running on the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, it's kind of sad that they haven't introduced Death Knights yet, and they're doing that because they want this to be a progressive realm, so it'll go through vanilla content and then through Burning Crusade content and then to Wrath of the Lich King, which is also why there's no Blood Elves or Draenei. But it would be really awesome to have access to the Death Knight stuff because you could probably create like a Necromancer class if you had access to those, because you could be using like all the Warlock spell casting and then some of the like Raised Dead and Army of the Dead and stuff. That would be really cool, but alas, not yet. So far, even though the server is in beta, it actually seems to be pretty stable. I haven't really ran into anything that I would call game breaking yet. Couple of like NPCs haven't quite worked right, but you know, nothing that's really hindered my play at all. Just kind of like, oh, I can't hit that mob. Okay, I guess I'll go hit something else. But they're doing a pretty good job with it. It's pretty well optimized so far. Of course, that opinion might be subject to change. You never know. I might be eating those words in a little while. Okay, well now I am level 4, which means I get another ability. So let's figure out what I want to do. I could go with some elemental shaman stuff like lightning bolt or something like that. Even enhancement. Enhancement would be kind of cool because I could get rock biter, and that would get me to actually want to use a melee weapon. There's not a ton of a reason there. Affliction warlocks. Could learn corruption. Get a dot on them. That'd be kind of cool. What else? Fire mage. Could learn fireball. That's a classic. Although how does it do damage wise? 14 to 22 versus my just base one, 14 to 22. So I'm not sure if this one scales with level. Fireball certainly looks cooler, but I don't really know if I want to use a spell point on looking cooler. Frost armor would be useful. What else would be useful? Don't arcane mages know arcane intellect? That would be useful. But I think right now I need to be thinking about what would do best in combat. Can I learn a healing spell? Yeah, I can learn lesser heal. Decisions. There any resto shaman healing abilities? Healing wave. Because I kind of want to like style my character after like a master of the elements, so it's gonna be using like mage and warlock and shaman abilities, not really priests. So healing wave would fit in a little bit better, I guess. So would healing touch. Also some balanced druid abilities. Wrath, nature damage. So I've decided I'm gonna go with Moonfire. So I am a demon wielding Moonfire slinging thing. I don't know what class that would be, but I went with Moonfire because I wanted a dot, and to me Moonfire fits a little bit more in with like the style that I'm going with, more than something like Corruption would. Even though you gotta be thinking to yourself, well, John, you have a demon, so obviously you're fine with Fel. I probably, when I get to the late game, will get rid of the demon, to be honest. But for now, he's helping me out. So let's go ahead and we fired that off. So now he's taking dot damage. Haha. Hey, I got a cracked sledge. That's probably more damage. Yep. Sweet. Sledgehammer. And also, Moonfire is a little bit better because it deals like direct damage in addition to the dot, which is nice. And it's an instant cast, so if it like something's running away and I just need to ding it one time to kill it, I can just Moonfire it. There's so many like cool combinations that you could do with this class system. You could do like a super paladin who's like has all of the abilities of a paladin, a warrior, and a priest. Well, I mean, not all of the abilities, but like the best abilities. That'd be cool. You could make a demon hunter, have a like a demonology warlock abilities mixed in with rogues abilities. That would be pretty sweet. Throw in some hunter abilities in there just to keep on message. Not to mention just like the cool stuff that you could do as far as having you know, like different races basically be classes that they couldn't before. So like a human with druid abilities, you know, that couldn't happen. Or a undead paladin would be kind of cool. I always thought that would be pretty awesome. Could finally do that. But I mean, where's the fun in just like basically recreating the vanilla classes when you could, you know, make something completely unique and new? The one thing that I'm curious to see is how like tanking and how healing are going to work, because you're going to have to obviously be finding people who, you know, chose to spec into tanking or healing, which in the base game alone was hard, but now it's going to be like people who are given all the choices of all the abilities and they decide to choose the tanking abilities or the healing abilities. I would totally be that guy. I would totally take all the healing abilities. But you know, when you get into late game, when you're doing like raids and stuff, it's going to be pretty interesting, because you could have like literally all of the best healing abilities or all of the best tanking abilities and not even really have to worry about it. Not have to worry about class, you know, breakdown. Just, although on the flip side of that, if you're a raid leader, it might be more complicated because you have to worry about finding people who have the raid skills that you need. There's no real way to check that. You kind of just got to take them on their word, which might be a bit of a nightmare. And I'm pretty sure that they haven't implemented looking for group either, so I'm pretty sure that you have to be doing stuff like the old school way, you know, going out and looking for people in chat, which some people prefer that, and I definitely do see the appeal of that. But I think for the leveling process, like at least during testing and during beta testing, it would be a great way to actually test to make sure that your instances are working, if they would implement it because then people could level through the dungeons, and so there would be some incentive for them to be testing out the dungeons for people. If that makes any sense. Which I tend to ramble, so I'm not entirely sure if everything that I'm saying makes sense. I'll be curious if this quest is bugged. This is the one where you have to go like pick up the grapes. Because I've seen other servers it's been bugged on and basically like you can't do it. Which is unfortunate because it's a pretty easy quest. And I kind of screwed up my questing order a little bit because normally you want to do this with the quest where you're getting the red bandanas. But I was just kind of autopiloting and ran over there and got him when I should have been waiting to do this quest with him. So that's a little bit of a failing on my part. But then again, I fail at most things, so why is that surprising to anybody? Yeah, nothing better than self-depreciating humor. Ah. That's my demon. And that's my terrible accent. Is that sword better? Nope. Probably just looks cooler, though. Okay, time to find out if this is bugged or not. It doesn't look like it is. Oh god, this could be bad. Zigtal, help! You're helping, you're cool. I'm gonna live, it's fine. Haha, suck it. It's probably pulled because he's unaggressive, let's be honest. Like, he is super aggressive. Oh dear god. Okay, you're going on defensive now. Hey, look, it doesn't seem to be bugged. What will my next ability be? We'll have to see what I unlock at that level. Because, like, obviously you can't get abilities that you would normally have to unlock later. You have to, like, wait for them to become available. So you can't just, like, go in and grab Titan's Grip, you know, level 1. Although that would be pretty awesome. I should probably use a melee weapon at some point just so that I don't wind up with, like, 0 weapon skill at, like, you know, I wind up being, like, level 60 and it's like, oh crap, I've never used a weapon. Although for my build, that doesn't necessarily seem super necessary, I guess. I mean, obviously, when I get to level 60, it's subject to change. Because you can actually reset. It costs money, and it just like how spec changes used to be, it gets more and more expensive as it goes up. I don't know exactly how expensive it is or, you know, at what, you know, rate that it increases, but I do know that it does that. Hello, trainers who serve no purpose. You know, when you really think about it, I'm getting the best of both worlds because I'm getting the damage output of a caster with the survivability of a plate wearer. I'll wind up wearing like paladin, like Healy paladin gear, but you know, whatever. I'll be doing the damage of a mage. Okay, so I'm level 5 and I'm getting ready to leave Northshire Valley towards Goldshire. This is where it gets a little sketchy. Because if I die, as I said, I can drop gear and people out there are going to be gunning for it. And I'm in human territory, so I am probably going to die because there's probably going to be a lot of people around Goldshire. Whew. Okay, let's go. Alright. Elwyn Forest doesn't look so bad. I feel pretty good because I feel like I have some survivability. I wish I had a healing spell right about now, but I feel like my damage output should allow me to mess somebody up if I'm fighting somebody who's my level, which is not likely. Because I have a feeling I'm probably going to run into like a pocket of high levels chilling by the inn. But the inn is a safe zone. So if I can just get into the inn, it should be fine, in theory. Although realm time is, 7:43 a.m., so maybe nobody's playing. Okay, so let's just... Oh, I see dead bodies. That's not what you want. Okay. Wait, I thought you couldn't attack people in inns. Why are there dead bodies in here? Okay, I'm just going to grab my water and go. I do not want to hang around here any longer. Why didn't you give me that? Stupid. I'm starting to lag a little bit. This is not the place where I wanted to lag. Don't mind me, just killing boars. I have no interest in killing other players. Unless they're lower level than me, then they can just go die in a fire. At this point, I'm just killing stuff to try to level as I go. Because, you know, gotta get all those precious, precious levels. Like, a part of me wants to run into other people, and then a part of me, like, fears it deeply. Like, the part of me that wants to run into other people is because I feel like that'll be more entertaining for you guys to watch. But, for me, it'll be just heartbreaking. Oh, stat allocation. I completely forgot about this. I am not a bright man. So, basically, in a nutshell, every level or so, I think, you get a certain number of stat points. And you can allocate those to the different stats. So I am going to put 6 into intellect. No, let's go. Someone's killing a kobold. 2 into spirit. 1 more into intellect. 2 into stamina. What's it? Cool. Okay, so now my spell should be doing more damage. And I'm going to keep an eye out for other players. Okay, I will probably just scout through Fargo Deep Mine, finish up these quests, and head back to Goldshire, and then I'll probably end the video. Because I am intending on cutting out all the fluff. Oh, God. That's not what you want. No, target that guy. Thank you. Save me, Zigtal. I am relying on you. Yep, I did die to kobolds. That is a thing that happened. So that's where I'm going to end it. If you guys like this video, give it a like. Leave a comment down below. You know, tell me what you think. If you want me to do more videos about WoW Ascension, just, you know, let me know and I'll do more. You can also click on buttons here on screen to go to other videos that I've done, and the little round thing to subscribe. So, thanks guys, and rip Zigtal.